Hello, this is Bob Snyder with the Snyder Soapbox. Today we're going to do a review of the Crossway Omega Thin Line Reference Bible in Edgeline Black Goatskin Leather. And this is their premium Bible. It's printed and bound by Youngblood in Netherlands. So premier bindery. They always do an outstanding job. This Bible is probably one of the best ones on the market, especially for the price. It can be had on christianbook.com for quite a big discount over the suggested retail price. This Bible, like I said, is black edge-lined goatskin. So when I say edge-lined, what I mean is that instead of like a case-bound book, an edge-lined book has this inner liner that has a tab that comes up here, and then it's glued to the text block. And then after they glue that to the text block, they put this vinyl coated paper over the top, and that's what holds the text block into the cover. What that enables them to do then also is we have a really nice flexible cover, because we don't have a piece of hardboard in here or a piece of peach flex or any other weird material. It can just be another hide like this one uses. Some of them use a synthetic, like say for instance the Clarion from Cambridge has a synthetic. A lot of their edge lines do, but this one is hide. It's a leather hide. It's leather goat skin. So when we look at the cover, I'm going to try to get as close as I can without getting really out of focus with this camera. So don't know how well you're able to see the grain on this, but if you have problems, look at the review, because I have plenty of pictures on the review. We have 4 ribbon markers. I can't tell them how much I really appreciate ribbon markers. I say a minimum of 2, a maximum of 4. That's my preferences. This Bible is perimeter stitched, which I like perimeter stitched Bibles. It doesn't really mean that they didn't glue anything down, because it's all glued down too, but they did a good job on the corners. You can see we've got this perimeter gilt line all around the cover. There are nifty spine hubs for all you folks who like spine hubs. They are just decoration anymore. It's not like back in the old days when they were actually part of the structure of a book. Back when they used to use a sewing rack and sew signatures together on that rack, they'd use cords they would sew the signatures to, and that's what would make those big hubs. And then at the top, the decorative head and tail bands that are decorative now, it used to actually be functional. They'd sew the signatures to those head and tail bands as well. Now they just come in a strip and they cut them and glue them on. So they're just decoration. But I think they're attractive. On this one we've got kind of a gold and brown theme going to match the ribbons. The art gilt on this is excellent. Just being, like I said, it's a Youngblood product for Crossway. Don't think that's strange, by the way, because Cambridge, Schuyler, Crossway, R.L. Allen, a lot of these Bible publishers use Youngblood. When they want to make a premium Bible, they use Youngblood. That's just the way that it is. They're like the go-to people for this. So we open this up. We'll see that it's glued up quite a ways to make it durable. When they do that, in conjunction with the hide tab that's glued to it, that makes kind of a stiff hinge, and people get kind of turned off by that. But the bottom line is, you make a weak hinge, the Bible falls apart in a while. You make a stiff one, it lasts longer, but people are going to hem and haw about it while they're breaking it in. You know what? If you use the thing and break it in, it's going to be fine, and you'll be happy when the thing outlasts you, and it can be handed down to your kids. So we have a presentation page printed on a card paper, and then there's the family record pages of marriages and births and adoptions, and then deaths, so you can keep track of all that. We get to the front, a few pages, your prerequisite information that almost all these Bibles come with, and then here's the one that tells you where it was made. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. It says printed in the Netherlands, published by Crossway. This Bible has a double column paragraph format layout with the cross references and notes at the bottom. Page numbers are justified at the center top of the header, and the book names and chapter and verse are also at the top. Each book starts out, let me get to the beginning of a book here and I'll show you. Each book starts out with the book name, and then the chapter numbers are kind of in a drop cap style. And it's pretty neat. There's not much space in between the there's not much space in between the two columns, and like I said, you notice the cross references are at the bottom. The reason they do this is to give the text more page real estate, more space on the page for the text that matters. And I think this is a really good idea. That way we can make a thinner Bible, because there's finite dimensions in Bible design, right? So you can only do so many things. Everybody likes the fact that ESV has poetry arranged differently than non-poetry, and quotes are from the Old Testament are highlighted. Now, when we let's see here. There we go. The New Testament, and I'm going to try to get to this concordance here. It's a really good concordance. It's a 3-column concordance, and it's useful. So that's I like to see reference Bibles with concordances in them. The maps on this one are the Crossway maps. They're on kind of a shiny paper this time. That's not a real, not my favorite way of doing it. I like when the maps are printed on more of a cardstock paper like the family records pages were, just because I think they hold up a little better. They don't tear out as easy. These though don't look as they don't look like they're as prone to tear as some of the other ones with a higher clay content. These look like they're actually going to hold up. There's not a ton of them, which, how many people honestly use the map setting out, right? We have a few sheets of this card paper on the back. If you want to take notes on it, that's great, but I don't really use it for that. And then the ISBN number and the black goatskin designation, and then again on the back cover. Just a really nice Bible. It's good and flexible. I know people are going, oh, don't bend it like that, but I'm not bending the spine. I was just bending the pages, bending the pages in the cover. I'm not bending the spine there, so don't freak out. I'm the type of guy that likes to read with my Bible in one hand, so I kind of roll it over like that. I can do that with this, and again, I'm not bending the spine. If you can look, see the spine's fairly flat right there. But it's easy to hold in one hand, and since it is thinner, I'm going to close it so you can see. It's not a real thick Bible. We got so it's a nice thickness. The paper that's used is nice and opaque. It's a high quality paper. There's no ghosting. The text is line matched. It's a good size font. It's 10-point font. You'd really be hard pressed to get a better Bible for the price. If you're an ESV fan, you like the English Standard Version, this is probably the Bible for you to get, and I will highly recommend it. There's some others out there, yeah. You could, if you want to find that perfect Bible for you, you're going to have to work at getting all the different features that you like all together in one Bible, and that can be pretty tough. So I wish you well with that, and God bless. Take care.